Hello everyone. So today we're going to talk about being a shamanic practitioner without having a tribe. So this is kind of a strange topic. I've been a shamanic practitioner for at least about 9 years now. I'm 30 now. Gonna turn 31 pretty soon. So a shamanic practitioner is somebody who takes up and practices and experiments with spirits, the land, existence, very down-to-earth kind of spiritual work. These are just my descriptions. Take everything with a grain of salt because this is my understanding of what a shamanic practitioner is. This is not going to be everyone's. I don't find myself extremely concerned with magic circles, with very specific incantations, very specific layouts of ritual implements or ritual symbols. A lot of people on the left-hand path are more specific than I think a lot of us are on the shamanic path. So what I mean by specific is that, this is exactly how you do a ritual. For a shamanic practitioner, it's very individual based. Usually, it has a strong foundation in the tribe you're a part of. That's the ideal circumstance. A lot of people would say that being a shamanic practitioner who doesn't have a tribe, or who does not have a master, who does not have a shaman teaching them, could never hope to be a shaman, and it is laughable that they would consider themselves even a shamanic practitioner. Now, while I don't consider myself a shaman, I do consider myself a shamanic practitioner. But it is very difficult if you don't have a tribe and you don't have a teacher. Though I do find in shamanic, I've talked to shamans, but in shamanic techniques, and even with shamans, there's not as many gatekeepers outside of a lot of people just expect you to have a tribe, or a teacher, or a master, a guru, a higher priest, a bokor, a haugen, a mambo, going to voodoo there. But beyond that, the gatekeepers aren't as heavy as something like, a heathen path. Like if you're dealing with runes and you want to say that you're a mastersmith with the runes, or you're an expert in the runes, there's going to be a lot of gatekeepers checking every piece of your knowledge anytime you say anything. So the disadvantage of the path that I've found and chosen and found myself drawn to is that I don't have a singular teacher to just guide me along the way. And I'm kind of founding, this is a very grandiose statement, and I would forgive you if you laugh at it just a bit, if not a lot. I'm kind of founding my own shamanistic way. I work a lot with the spirits, with the dead, blood magic, the runes. I find myself very drawn to fire rituals. I find myself very drawn to nature, of course. Most shamanic practitioners do. These are some of the general areas I find myself drawn to, and general areas of both study, experience, and experimentation that I dive into. I think that I read many years ago a book by Raven Caldera, and the book was Weird Walkers. Now, in that book, he said, I think one of the first things that he said was, if you find yourself drawn to a shamanic path, I'm using not direct quotes, but the general idea, or you're a shamanic practitioner, you find yourself drawn to that, or you feel like you are that, I'm very sorry. This is going to be a very hard path. This is not an easy path. He says it's a very lonely path. It's a path that's going to be you're going to be questioning your sanity. And beyond that, I don't want to go beyond direct quotes because I don't want to kind of put more words in his mouth than there were. So I think that it is only recently that I started to really not recently, maybe in the past 2 or 3 years, I started to kind of realize what he's talking about. It's not just that I don't have a tribe. I mean, sure, I'm 7% Aztec, 7% Cherokee, and I have a lot of Norse blood, 7%, also 7 to 12% African, depending on the DNA results. But it's not only lonely because I haven't sought out or found a direct link to my shamanic path. I'm kind of creating my own path, and also it seems like a process of discovery for myself. I can't really call what I'm doing a path quite because it's a process of self-discovery. I'm experimenting with what I can do, with what I can connect with, and how magic, what it is, how it plays into reality, what can I affect in this reality, and what spirits can I communicate with. But when Raven Caldera talks about it's a lonely path, it is a lonely path. Not only because, if you're somebody like me, you're forging your own way. You don't have a church, you don't have a group you go to where, you all do the same ritual or you all believe the same thing. Like, even just a lot of grave workers, we're kind of out on our own. And those who will just view it as a fad or feel like it's a fad, and they'll get over it and they'll just go away from the path. But those of us who really feel at home with these practices, with this way, we don't feel that there's any other way to be us but to follow forward with this drawing, this calling that we feel. It's funny because my particular path is very gray, and there's a lot of I don't I don't have stakes in the fight with Yahweh or with Satan. I don't. There's a lot of talk of duality that gets thrown at me. That it's like, okay. It's almost like two basketball teams, and I'm just not into basketball. Like I'm not adversarial. I'm also not dogmatic, and I don't really care to deal with definitely modern Christianity or modern Satanism or Christianity in general. I just don't care to deal with it. But I get a lot of people who approach me who are like, who expect me to be on their side one way or the other. I'm just like, I don't play basketball, man. What do you want from me? I'm not on your side. I'm not against you, but I'm not on your side. I'm doing my own thing. And that's kind of what shamanic practitioners do. We do our own thing. It's not we don't have interest in playing sides. It's not about that. We got inner battles to fight. We got magic to do. We got spirits to work with. We don't have time for the drama of either side's dogma in a game that we're not playing. But you'll find a lot of, but my general point is that if you're part of a group, whether you're a Satanist or a Christian or something like that, I'm just using these two as examples. There's many more different divergent paths that are against each other. But whether you're using either one of these, you're going to have a group. You're going to have a lot of vocabulary that's shared. You're going to have a lot of ideas that are shared. You're going to have a lot of underlying understanding for those paths that is shared, especially for Christianity if you're in the United States or in many parts of the world. But I found similar elements with a lot of Satanists that I've talked to. There's this underlying message and understanding that they also expect you to get, almost like a Christian would, which a lot of people are going to hate me for saying that, but dogma has many forms. It's not just one. It's not just one side. But I feel like Odin, I'm so drawn to Odin and being a shamanic practitioner. I feel like they're very similar paths. Odin, one of his names is the Lone Wanderer. Grimnir, the Hooded One. Far Seeker. Highest. There's a lot of questioner names. There's a lot of Father of Victory, Father of the Dead, Fair Trader. He even has a form called Bulverker, which is evildoer. He has so many different forms. All-Fadil, which is all father. He has so many different forms, but he always travels alone. He gained all these titles through feats, through actions, and through becoming. And he was doing it all by himself. The shamanic path, or a shamanic path rather, and working with Odin, they seem to click very well with me and for me. I have a lot of Viking blood in me. A lot of my ancestors have worked with, and you can even say worshipped Odin. But you know, that might be a big drawing in me while I'm drawn to Odin. But also, I've always kind of done my own thing and tried to find my own way, and that's just what being a shamanic practitioner is. You're fighting with yourself. You're fighting with the circumstances that keep you from connecting to spirits, that keep you from connecting with the land, that keep you from realizing what you need to realize in order to reach the next level within. It's not an external fight or battle. It's not a theological war between two sides. Not only are you at war with the confines of your current conceptions, you could say you're at war with everything that is directly around you, magically, spiritually, that keeps you from connecting to the land, to spirits. And it's not people that are doing this. There's a grander subconscious that might be a problem, but it's not people, it's the barriers you're trying to get through. That's why it's kind of a lonely path, because only you can fight these little battles for yourself. I mean, experimentation. And, you know, it's always useful to read different grimoires, to read different shamanic works, and to learn, especially if you don't have a teacher like me. But experimentation, practice, experience. With the dead in graveyards, I've been in graveyards. I have a couple offices, a couple graveyards that I've gone to the most, but there's 3 that I've gone to a lot. And it's funny because I think what a lot of people jump to is a lot of people will think what I'm doing isn't working, or I'm not actually connecting to spirits, or these spirits, what if they don't exist? There's a sureness in me that says these spirits exist. Perhaps the only time that I'm unsure is how much connection there is. But when I feel a strong connection, I don't have a lot of doubt. But the only real question is how thin or thick is the barrier between me and what I'm trying to connect with. That's the real question. It's not so much as if what I'm doing is working, or if spirits exist, or if there's anything supernatural. Those questions kind of became lesser as I started to experience more of what is behind things and in things and in front of things. It's a long path. And once again, being a shamanic practitioner without a tribe is difficult. It's hard. Maybe even harder than if I did. I'm not sure. But I will say that when you're drawn to something, you're just drawn. There's not a part of yourself when you're really feeling drawn to something. There's not a part of yourself that's like, oh, what if I just didn't do this? That's not part of it anymore. It's almost like if you really feel like you need to be a doctor, or you need to be a lawyer, like you've always been drawn to that. You don't know why, but you just are. If you really feel being drawn to something, whether it be a career, whether it be a spiritual path, whether it be overcoming something within your life, if you really feel drawn to it, there's no part of you that's questioning, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. No. The only part that questions is how effective is what I'm doing at what I'm trying to be. That's always going to be part of the doubt, or at least it should be, unless you're completely unopen to the idea that you could fail or that you could be doing something wrong. But yes, so this video has gone on for long enough. I'll probably do multiple videos like this. I kind of ranged far between the points that I wanted to get to, but I think I hit on the ones that I wanted to. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up down there on YouTube. It really helps the channel, and commenting also helps. And please subscribe if you like content like this at all. If anything, it just helps traffic to the channel. It helps me out. It helps me out get both traffic to the channel and people the information that I have to say, if you value this information at all. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been interesting, and all of you have a wonderful day.